They say that we went to the moon. That's what they say. They say that we made it all the way to the moon. And I just gotta talk about it because I done found a couple websites that just share some stuff that kind of go against that theory, or not kind of go, but straight up go against that theory. Now, these ain't sites that you could just easily find. This stuff's just on this kind of stuff. You can't just search using regular search engines. You gotta go through some stuff to get this, man. Because hey, man, the way Google works is Google works for what you call like the highest bidder. So if you want your stuff to show up on Google, you gotta do pay some money. And if you don't pay this money, you're gonna be pushed way, way back. So a lot of times, man, if you want to see the truth, you gotta you gotta do some scrolling, man. Go back through a couple pages. But as you see here, I pulled up some footage. Check this out. Now this is just footage from the first mission to the moon. Was Apollo 11. Now, just think about this. This is the cameras. Look at this quality. Now this quality has been restored. So this is like this is the fixed up version. Let me see. You see I got it on 1080p. This is the restored version. So we made it to the moon with these cameras. Look at it. We were able to get to the moon, and back in the time when we had better space equipment than camera equipment. Think about that. Look how bad that footage looked. And then think about this being taken hundreds of thousands of whatever away. See the astronauts moving around, shuffling around. Pretty grainy footage. And it's from the first mission, which, if I'm not mistaken, was in 69. So there you see the whole little lander thing or whatever. It's crazy stuff, right? You don't see this. A lot of people don't know that this footage is really even out there like that. See him adjusting the camera. It's crazy, man. So, a lot of people don't believe that you can even leave the earth, man. A lot of people don't even believe that you can do it because they got what's called the like a radiation field. And this radiation field is supposedly deadly to humans. And if you go through this thing that's deadly to humans and you're a human, it's deadly to you. So a lot of people don't even believe that you could pass through that field, as well as they don't believe that the camera equipment, the film and all that stuff that they had, especially at that time, would have been able to withstand what they was going through. Now think about this. They transmitting this footage. Okay, so let's just think about this. If they are storing this footage on their craft, do you know, even if in the 80s, this is from 69, so even in the 80s, if you had what's called like a CCTV system, right, like a camera system at your business. If you had a camera system at your business, you wouldn't be able to store more than you had to switch the tapes like every couple, depending on what year it is. It got better as time went along, but you had to constantly be switching out the tapes because at this time they wasn't able to hold and store that much footage like we got. Just think about a few years ago. We had like 10 gigabyte flash drives. Like that was a crazy deal. Now they got we on to the terabytes, but boy, back if you had a 10 gig flash drive, man, like you was killing the game, man. I remember one of my teachers in college had like a 40 gig hard drive, one of them solid state drives, man. You couldn't tell him nothing, boy. He thought he was the man. I'm talking about 40 gigs. Shoot, man, that ain't nothing now, man. They had 256 megabyte flash drives when I was coming up. Going to school and all that, and college and all that. So the amount of footage they would have been able to keep. So what kind of the computer? What kind of computers would they have had to have with them on this mission? Then for them to transmit that data, or let's say it was live feeding the data back to the Earth. They was transmitting the data without glitches, without stutters. I got fiber in my house. I got fiber. A lot of y'all watching probably got fiber. How often do we see stutters when we make phone calls or video calls? How many times can we turn on a YouTube video and have to sit there while the phone or whatever take 2-3 minutes sometime to get it started, depending on how your signal is? How many times do we have to exit out and come back in or go to a different location? We don't have, bro, we got fiber, and fiber speed is like unlimited, and we struggle. But they are able to transmit this footage back from, it's crazy, man. Come on now. It got to be, it's only so much, man. It's only so much. So, here we see them, they messing around, moving around, doing a little different stuff. And I saw one video because I was looking at it, well, man, how come you can't see them? Why they have never just like picked up a telescope and looked at the moon where they put the flag at? Or looked at where the base to the ship they left. And what this guy said, the most powerful telescope on the earth can't see it. In fact, in order to see it, he said you would need a telescope the size of the earth to see the flag on the moon. It's just craziness, man. How would he, for one, how would he even know that? He just, for two, come on, man. Yeah, a telescope the size of the earth to see a base to a thing, and we got freaking Google Maps zooming in, seeing people. Have you ever been on Google Earth? When you go on Google Earth, you can zoom in and see people faces, man. You can see people like, bro, if you held a sign up on Google Maps and that camera happened to take a picture of you that day when you held that sign up, people could read that sign, man. So don't tell me you need a telescope the size of the earth to see to the moon when we got satellites and junk that we supposedly sent to the moon. We got a rover that we supposedly sent to the moon. We should be able to see this stuff. I'm just saying, man, it ain't that crazy. Like we ain't that, don't that make sense? Like, am I tripping? Am I tripping? Like, what y'all think, man? Let me know if that don't make sense. Cause if I'm just talking some bunch of nonsense, man, just tell me. I ain't gonna get mad. Just how I drop my opinion, shoot, y'all drop y'all opinion, man. But I'm just saying, like, if they did that, man, shoot, that end the whole argument right there. It ain't nothing else to talk about. They eat the whole conversation. All they gotta do is pull up and zoom in on their flag, send a spaceship over. If you send the dang satellites over, if you can send a spaceship, you can send a satellite. Ain't nobody on it. If it crash, just don't even tell us you sent it. If it failed, don't even say nothing. Just send another one. We would never even know the difference, man. Echo say keep cooking, so that mean I'm doing those. That mean I'm on point. That mean I'm on point. So all right, I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Now I'm gonna show you some biblical proof. Check this. Let me get this pulled up. So I'm gonna show you some biblical proof on that on how come I believe that if you try, like, leaving the earth is not easy. All right, so you can say whether or not you believe that this is makes it impossible, but I tell you that it's not easy, and that somebody they should have been have brought this point up. Man, bro, you ever realize how bad your spelling is with modern day technology? Like his modern day technology just made our freaking spelling like bro. Sometimes I feel like I'm borderline freaking handicapped, man, mentally handicapped, boy. I can't spell nothing no more. Shoot, I know I ain't the only one. All this auto type and auto correct, even when you mess a word up, it fix it for it. They don't even tell you, man. They fix it for you, even realize you messed it up. And if not that, you talking to the dang phone. Yeah, I know. Then you want, boy, when I try to write, man, it hurt my hand so bad, boy. Why does writing hurt so much? Okay, so in Genesis, they have what's called a firmament. So now the firmament is in mentioned a couple of times, and it says, so the first time, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. God made the firmament under the waters and stuff which was under the firmament, which were above the firmament. God called the firmament heaven. Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day and the night, and let them be for signs. Let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven. And God set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon earth. So he said he put multiple lights in the firmament. So, multiple lights. The sun is one light. So, there can't be multiple lights because it's one light. So, what would the second light be? The moon. So, is that saying that the moon gives off its own light? But that ain't the point I was looking for. So, the word firmament, I'm about to break that down to you. Check this out. Let me share this site with y'all since I'm over here. So, the word firmament, where is it? I think I said, okay, a firmament. So in Hebrew, Rakia, that's firmament in Hebrew. Now, if you look, let me make sure I'm sharing the right page so y'all can see this. Okay, so y'all can see this. Now, if you look, it says outline of biblical usage. So that means the way that the Bible is using it. Extended surface, solid, expanse, firmament. So it's an extended surface, and it says that it's solid. And then like the little mini different examples are here: expanse, flat as base, support. So here you see it being called a base, support. If something is a base or a support, can a base or support be like not solid? You've never seen anything support something that wasn't solid. Firmament, a vault of heaven supporting waters above. A vault of heaven supporting waters above. Considered by Hebrews as solid and supporting waters above. So in the Hebrews, they look at the word firmament as a vault of heaven, supporting something, is holding in something above, waters above. Now you want to call that rainwater, whatever. It say that it's holding it in. So visible arc of the sky. Strong's definition. It expands the firmament or apparently visible arc of the sky. So let's see if we can find one more definition in here. Let me see. And then I'll leave that point alone. But yeah, this is a Bible study tool that lets you see the words in the original Hebrew and the Greek, because a lot of times the stuff don't mean what it seemed like it mean if you just reading in English. And it don't matter if you're reading King James or whatever. Like sometimes it's not. Sometimes you gotta look at it in the original text to really understand. So here you said the Hebrews believed there was a heavenly ocean. So they believed that the firmament was holding something out from getting into the ocean. They getting into the earth. They believed that it was a solid support or base that was holding heaven, the sky, like holding it. So it's solid. So that means that if you fly a ship, it got to pass through that firmament. Now, as you see here, it say solid, man. It don't say nothing about, and this ain't no symbolic thing. This is not symbolic. This is what the Bible is stating, man. So if you ain't no Christian or whatever, that's fine. You ain't gotta believe it, but I just want to also drop a biblical point of view up in there too. Just so people can see, I'm just jumping in to see that this is not, this junk been going on. So Curse Echo points to the theory that we live in a dome, and when they send the rockets up, they are trying to break it open. Yeah, he got a good point, man. He said we really do live in a dome. Now that's a fact. We do live in a dome. So if there's a firmament around the earth and that firmament is solid, then yes, we live in a dome. That is guaranteed. That is a fact right there. And he said when they send them rockets up, they trying to bust it open. And I used to hear the OGs say that stuff. Man, I remember. I'm thinking it was my grandmama. And I just kind of I forgot about this. It just popped in my head when he said that. But now it's like I kind of remember it. But dang, how did she put it? I can't remember the way she put it. She gone now, so I can't ask her. But she mentioned something like that, man, about how they had to break through. She was telling me that as a kid, man. So a lot of this stuff, man, this stuff people been on, man. Like this ain't no man, that's crazy. I forgot my grandma said that. Man, bro. She sure did say that junk to me when I was a kid. That they be trying to send the missiles up to break through it. Wow. Man, Echoes, thank you, man. You just brought back a memory, bro. For real. Man, you just brought back a memory. I forgot all about that. Wow. So, I got a site I'm going to share with y'all. This website Now, this ain't the type of site that's going to pop up quick. Like this one, you got to do some deep searching to find. You see this site here? This site is not, it's not like your typical sites that pop up. So look, when you search, okay, so look, I'm going to show you something. Watch this. So we're going to search moon landing hoax. Okay, moon landing hoax conspiracy. History.com, that's like the History Channel. Wikipedia. Snopes, that's a big company. BBC. Space.com. The Conversation. USA Today. PolitiFact. Royal Museums. So look, let me go to page. I'm going to skip to page 3. Rolling Stone. New York Post. HistoryExtra.com. Let's see. I never heard of this one. Let's see what this site look like. Okay. Perfectly well-crafted site. Membership. Big time site, right? There's not no site that somebody made or on there. This big time site. So let's go back. I'm trying to find. Look, I'm just trying to show you how you cannot find. Look, the Guardian, University of Manchester. This is another college. Decided, that's a big company. Heavy, that's a big company. Wikipedia, BBC. Now look, back to Wikipedia and BBC and the History Channel again. The Washington Post. Let's skip to page 5. PBS, the History Channel again. Conversation again. Forbes, IMDb, ABC, Apple Podcasts. Let's see. Let's see who podcast this is. Wouldn't you know it? History. Looks like the History Channel to me. Am I wrong? No, History Extra podcast. Okay, maybe I'm wrong on that. Greg Jenner. So I don't know how big time or small time this podcast is. They got 2,000 episodes though, so shoot, they ain't no slouch. So that looks like maybe the first thing that you see that's not 37. Oh heck no, these some big dogs. 37 shows. And they post daily. Yeah, that's some big dogs. So look at this right here, space radiation. That's the radiation I was telling you about. The Apollo crews were extremely lucky. So they saying that they were lucky to make it through the radio. Oh, y'all don't see that page. But yeah, they saying they was lucky to make it through that. So yeah, look at here, man. You just let me skip the page. Let me go to page 6. eScholarship, skyhistory.com. Okay, maybe we getting away from the big dogs now. Let's check this site out. Nope. This is another major website. See, man, I'm trying to find just a site that somebody sitting in their basement started, man. You can't find it, man. You can't find it. Look, MSN. How stuff works. Let's try this site. I never heard of this one. Again, another site. Another major site. All right, let's skip up to oh, did I take down my thing? Okay, hold on, I messed up my share. He said if you ever watch some of the live streams from space, they look like they underwater. What you mean? You mean like, cause what I've seen is they be looking out the window at the Earth. You saying it look like the Earth underwater, or what are you saying? So let's see. Let me put y'all right here. Okay, so I'm gonna skip way up to CBR, The Guardian, USA Today, same thing, man. You can't see Vox, Amazon. So when people doing searches, bro, they not going. Look what page I'm on. I'm on page 9. Yahoo, Amazon, Newsweek, Global News, The Mirror, IMDb, Amazon, Express, Slash Gear, Medium. I ain't heard of Slash Gear and Express. Let's see if they are. Yep. News site, well established. CNN, PLOS.org. So, man, like the average person, they ain't going this deep. You know what I'm saying? They not going, bro. I'm 10 pages deep, and I'm yet to find digital trends, Raleigh News, Snopes is all over this thing, man. CNET, Ads.com, Grunge. I'm yet to Gizmodo, Huffington Post, The Big Think. Bro, do you know how many websites it is in the world? Let me see. Maybe it's something I could do in the search to help me find Moonlight Folks Conspiracy. Let me try something weird. Let me try 2009 website. Let's see if that brings up like something old. Nope. First thing pop up from 2024. The Wikipedia, Guardian, History. It's like it's nothing you can do, man. PolitiFact. The same sites over and over. Museum of Greenwich. There's nothing you can do. There's no way you can use the browser and just find you something unique, man. So, like they're filming inside the in the ocean with a globe. He said like they are filming in the ocean with a globe that looks like Earth. I never seen that, man. You gotta send me a link with that next time you see that, man. Cause I ain't. Oh shoot! I thought I was sharing with y'all. My bad. So yeah, you know, you can't find nothing that's not from a major outlet. Everything from a university, and it's the same sites over and over again, man. Over and over, just it's crazy, man. Let me try 220 article. Sometimes that. Okay, here go an article from 2009 from the New York Times, The Guardian, again, PolitiFact, Scientific American, Fact Check, National Geographic, USA Today, BBC, History. Let me skip up some. Daily Mail. Yep. It's crazy, man. Let me read y'all what Buzz Aldrin said. So here is he was one of the astronauts from the mission or whatever. He the one who they were from infinity to infinity and beyond, the Buzz Lightyear thing from. So, is it true? So the claim is astronaut Buzz Aldrin admitted that a moon landing was staged on a movie set. And they said, is it true? Then they said it sounded unlikely. In November 2014, the Hustlers website published an article recycling the old conspiracy that the moon was fake and staged, claiming 11 astronaut Buzz Aldrin had recently admitted to such. Excuse me. It has been reported that the 11 missions which landed men on the moon for the first time was fake. So, they said the videos of the mission were simply showing a setup that was created to simulate how the moon and space would look. Apollo 11 was not real, none of it was. Buzz said in the video he recorded, "Confessions to the Apollo 11 hoax. I'm ashamed to say this, but I cannot hide it anymore. It was a setup, like the ones they use in Hollywood. Back in the 60s, the U.S. was competing with the Soviet Union to achieve space flight supremacy, which is known as the space race. We were afraid the Soviets would beat us to the moon, so we decided to fake the moon landings on Apollo 11 to say we were greater than the Soviets." Shortly thereafter, links and excerpts reference the article being circulated via social media, with many of those who encountered the item mistaking it for a genuine news report. However, it was just a spoof. So, it's the kind of stuff they do where when you go read something, it's called like clickbait, man. They have you come read something, and this is all you see all day, man. Is people click. So now you don't know what's real and what's not, because I've seen people say that they've seen him say this. They've seen the articles, and not just on no fake troll site, but they really seen this stuff. But then here, years later, they come and say, "No, that never happened." But there's people that say it happened all the time, man. So, hey, man, you just got to pick your poison. When you be reading stuff, man, you just got to pick your poison, man. Kurt say, if I can find it, it was an old TikTok talking about it. I doubt it's there anymore. Yeah, man, like, I done seen the videos of Buzz talking about that junk, but you can't find it. Now they talking about it didn't exist. Like, we just stupid. like, we just dumb, man. Like, we didn't, like, we just that dumb. We just made up in our mind. We saw a video. No, bro, I know I seen that junk. So here on this site, and I don't remember how I found this site. I probably found it looking on the dark web, to tell you the truth. Because, it's like, it's dark web, then it's like the deep web, it's different things. It's like different levels. It's like the little dark, the semi-dark, and the, it's different levels. So, I mess with it a little bit, but I don't go too far. All right, so here, this is just telling a little bit about the moon thing, the space race thing, all that stuff. I believe this nation should commit itself to achieving a goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and taking him back to Earth safe. JFK talking about the Apollo project. This from May 25th, 1961. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong Buzz became the first man to walk on the moon in that mission. 5 other missions followed it. So a lot of folks don't know, they didn't just go to the moon one time. They went on Apollo 12, 14, 15, 16, and Apollo 17. The only one failed was Apollo 13. That's the one I think that blew up in the sky. But nevertheless, the astronauts came back safe on the Earth. Did it? Maybe it wasn't 13. Which one is the one where it blew up? 6 missions on the moon in 3 years' time only, under Nixon, and since then, nothing. So they went to the moon 6 times in 3 years, all under the same president, Richard Nixon, who was one of the biggest. He wasn't the worst, in my opinion. I think Ronald Reagan was about the worst. Ronald Reagan or Lyndon Baines Johnson was pretty bad, but Ronald Reagan, I think he'd take the cake for most evil president, at least of like modern times. I ain't talking about all time, but just the last, like from the 60s and up, Ronald Reagan was worse than any of them. But Nixon was pretty crooked too, man. So Nixon was very crooked. Not no pretty. He was very, very crooked. So so I guess think about that. They did 6 missions to the moon in 3 years under Nixon. And since then, nothing. You can't tell me that's right, man. Now, they started to, later, this hoax started to spread. So Bill Casey was the apostle of them. This man who started talking about the hoax. This engineer who had worked on the Saturn engines remained very skeptical before the Apollo missions. The absence of crater under the limb, the flapping, okay, he said, the absence of crater under the limb. I don't know what the freak limb stand for. And lunar expedition module. I bet that's right too. If that is, I'm very smart. The flapping flag, the deep footprints of the astronauts were spreading doubt. Oh, so he said the flag flapping and the deep footprints spreading doubt into him. He had computed the probability that man could set foot on the moon and had found it to be very small. Ralph Renee is an important proponent to the contention of the Apollo missions. He wrote a book you can find on the internet that he didn't manage to have published, which seems very interesting and very researched. NASA's Mooned America, of which I give you the link. So this is a link to the book. I'm gonna see if they got the audio book, because What's a West don't do no read. Let's see if this is so old. Yeah, it's a media fire link, but it is not active anymore, because I need to try to see if I can figure out how old this site is. Because yeah, that link is not active anymore. And it's media fire, man. Muggs ain't used media fire in so long. Jack White and David Percy have also made interesting studies on the Apollo photos, which you can find on their sites. Let's see if their sites are still up. Okay. All right, their sites are still up. Probably some good info on here. Wow, I say this site been up since '93. Oh, there's probably some good stuff on here. See, now while I'm looking up moon hoax, how is one of the top sites? Think about that. Why is this site not coming up? Why is this site not coming up? If I'm sitting here searching this through page after page, why is one of the top sites not coming up, and everything coming up is the freaking stuff from the freaking stuff by the big dogs? How come ain't none of the small time stuff coming up? I wonder if I can play this. This is from 2000. I wonder if I could play it. Probably not. But yeah, here go the site here. So yeah, here go the site. Look, when you go down here at the bottom, say 1993. So this site has been around for a minute. This ain't nothing new, man. This junk been here for a minute. Yeah, man, they play with our minds every day, man. It's and some people will say, well, what does it matter? And, you know, I'm not saying it matter. I'm not saying it don't matter. All I'm saying is that it just shows you how even the smallest, even the biggest, the stupidest, the most important, if they go through so much to prove something's just stupid as going to the moon, then what else is they going through a whole bunch of rigmarole to prove or disprove? You know? So I could tell I could talk on some other subjects. I just, been on this moon. You know how you be going through different stuff, different times. You might have like a week or something where you just looking up like space stuff. Then you might have I might have another week where I'm looking up stuff like about big boats and ships. So it's just what I've been kind of interested in lately. But I do think that I think it's cool to teach. So on this angel fire site, let's get back to here. So you got this Bart Hill guy. He talking about the how the what it called the missions could have been staged or whatever. So Bart asked the astronauts to swear on the Bible they went to the moon, and only 2 of them accepted. All the other ones refused. So only 2 of them said, "Yeah, I'll do it." The rest of them said, "I ain't doing it." Now, according to him, the Apollo spaceship with the astronauts would have split from the rocket once in space and would have orbited the Earth while the rest of the rocket was continuing to the moon. I wonder how he came to that conclusion. Buzz Aldrin even knocked his face upon his request. So, I heard about this. Buzz punched this guy, if I ain't mistaken. Bart suffered much from his contention at Apollo missions. He even lost the care of his children and was very badly considered. So, I heard about this guy before. He went through a lot, man. He went through a whole lot from him speaking up and confronting them astronauts. The people I cited, I consider wackos, along with those who doubt the Apollo missions and are called conspirators. The doubt that the Apollo missions called moon hoax is ill considered to the media. Yeah, anytime you talk against the moon landing, the media is gonna rip you to shreds. I remember Steph Curry said something about I don't know if he directly said it was fake or if he just said he think it was fake, but it wasn't like he was just standing up doing what I'm doing right now. It was just kind of like a little thing. And man, they went on Stephen A. and Max Kellerman went on TV and went after him and said, how could he say something? I want to say he used the word dumb, but I could be wrong on that. But they went after him, man. They went after him and did a whole segment on it. And at the time, I'm like, who cares if Stephen Curry says the moon landing was fake? He ain't no freaking scientist or teacher. He a basketball player. Who give a freak what a basketball player think? Well, that we have to talk about it for a whole segment. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he did a whole video on it and he going from point after point, but I think it was like he was at some kind of science thing maybe, and they just randomly asked him the question. So he might have kind of almost been joking about it in a way. But it it didn't garner for them to just do a whole segment on a sports TV show about what he said at a, it's just that it didn't. It was just amazing how they made sure to let him have it for speaking his mind on that, even though it just wasn't that serious. Now, me sitting here doing a whole live stream about it, if somebody come after me, that's understandable because I'm actually putting some effort and putting this junk out, man. But some just an athlete talking some junk, who freak cares? So that shows you the media don't like it when you talk about that. You would never see the media letting you slide on the moon landing. Now, you slide on some other stuff, but you never see people be able to talk about the moon landing and get away with it. Unless it's you better be completely joking like a stand-up comedian or something. But you can't talk about that on some serious stuff. Its proponents are generally considered idiots by the media who are unable to accept facts. They are put at the same level as creationists, deniers of the Holocaust, proponents of the inside job, talking about 9/11 now, or even those who believe in the monster of the Loch Ness. Personally, I am not a Christian. Don't deny the Holocaust. Don't believe in the inside job. So he's saying he don't believe in all these other conspiracies. It's just the Apollo 11 missions that bother him. So, I'm going to go down here. So, among the obstacles that the proponents of the moon hoax are setting up, there's the Van Allen belt, a belt of radiation which surrounds the Earth, and it would be lethal to go through if not protected by a very thick metal layer. This belt starts at an altitude equal to 1.6 times the radius of the Earth, so around 10,000 kilometers, up to 4 times the Earth radius, so around 25,000 kilometers. The Russians think that even with a very thick layer, it remains dangerous to go through. The American astronauts went through it with much less thick of a layer, that they still managed to go through it in spite of the danger it represents. So here you see it starts here and it goes all the way out to here, and between 10,000 to 25,000 kilometers, you have to go through this field. And they saying for you to be protected from this radiation, the walls of your ship gotta be thick. And obviously the walls on the spaceship that they left in wasn't, nowhere near thick enough to present that. Now, 2 months before Apollo 11, NASA sent a monkey to space, and the monkey came back, gone. There also are the lunar conditions. Wow, I ain't know. I heard about them sending the monkey into space, but I never heard about the monkey ain't make it back. Shoot, I ain't know that. Did y'all know that? Is that just new to me, or is that new to everybody? So, these also are the lunar conditions, important variations of temperature and radiations against which one can wonder if the Hasselblad cameras were sufficiently protected. What has been much discussed too is the absence of stars in the Apollo photos. On the very numerous Apollo photos, not a single star is ever seen. The Earth is also much too small on the photos, and the sun too big, and its position in the sky is strange too. Concerning the stars, the Apollo believers have a ready answer. When a big light source is put next to a small one, only the big one is seen on the photo and not the small one, for the sensitivity of the camera adjusts on the big source, which prevents it from seeing the small one. They explain that because of the high reflectivity of the lunar ground, which remains to be proven, The reflected light is strong and prevents the camera from seeing the stars. It has to be pointed out that the stars which are seen from space are significantly more luminous when seen from the Earth, in reason of the absence of atmosphere. Shouldn't we see one? Shouldn't we have seen one of the photos at least from time to time? So he said, should we have seen a star somewhere? Even if we suppose that it's true, we can never see a star in the photos. It is less normal that the astronauts then see stars with their own eyes. It seems not probable. So what he's saying is, they saying that you don't like. They say that they adjusted the cameras and stuff for them. Basically, they adjusted the cameras so they could pick up the surface of the moon, which messed up them being able to see stars in the background. Now remember, they say it's trillions of stars out there. So if there's trillions of stars out there, he's saying like, bro, you should have saw a star somewhere at some point, some angle, some setting should have seen you a star. But they saying they already had the camera. Now, how could they program the cameras to pick up on the moon? How would they know what is needed or what setting should be? How would you know? It's no, it just ain't no way you can know that, man. You can't put together those calculations. You ain't never been out the Earth atmosphere. So you don't know what stuff is like once you, well, supposedly, yeah, they've been out the atmosphere, but you ain't been to the moon and know what the brightness is like when you actually get there. How could you set a camera to be set up for the moon before you get there? That's like somebody say, hey man, we want to do a photo shoot. All right, where you want to do the photo shoot at? All right, we're going to send you a picture. So they send me a picture of where they want to do the photo shoot. Now I'm going to adjust my cameras and stuff before I even get there. No, you adjust it once you get there. You know what I'm saying? And wouldn't that have been, so could they see the stars could they look up and see them? Because to me, that would be the time where you could see more stars than ever. So I know I like looking up at the stars from here. So if I'm out of space, I'm making sure that I try to get a view of those stars because you can see all of them without being restricted. Another serious obstacle, and I'm probably gonna wrap it up after this. Another serious obstacle is that the lunar module has never been tested. Some tests have been made with a lighter structure, but nothing to do with the real lunar module. And in one of these tests, the structure even crashed, and Armstrong saved his life by jumping in a parachute. So you can see the thing crashing, and you can see him coming down in a parachute. So he ejected himself up out of the shoot. He came, man. I wonder how he didn't get hurt coming down there because he kind of low to the ground, man. So this light structure was flying at a moderate speed and low altitude, whereas the lunar module had to start with a horizontal speed of 6,000 kilometers at an altitude of 110 kilometers. It is in no way comparable. Moreover, it is extremely different from a plane. A plane benefits of two forces created by the air, a force which slows it down horizontally and a force which lifts it vertically. The lunar module could benefit of none of these forces. It had to do everything with its engine. It had to create a push with its engine and distribute it on the horizontal and vertical axis with the adequate latitude controlled by the lateral reactions. So it would have both counter its important horizontal speed. It had to nullify before reaching the lunar ground and a lunar attraction creating a vertical speed. It also had to nullify before reaching the lunar ground. That is to say that it is extremely difficult to control the lunar module, much more difficult than to control a plane. The least error in this control would inevitably result in a crash. It is unthinkable that they would have sent astronauts to land on the moon before having seriously tested this lunar module, and yet that's what they did. So what he's saying is, landing a plane, you're going sideways, you're coming down little by little, you got the air flowing up through the plane and all that. You got all the aerodynamics working with you. But when you landed on the moon, you ain't got no air. You ain't got no. So like, you know how you can wave your hand and it create a force of air. There's air here which stops that force of air from traveling so far. But on the moon, supposedly, if you wave your hand, since there's no air on the moon, that air that you made with your hand wave just gonna keep going. That's what he's saying. So they had to land. Hold on. So they had to land. They had to land that ship by making small adjustments to stop it from crashing, because it got different thrusters and stuff in different directions, and you have to manually land that thing, or else it's gonna crash. So he's saying it's just the likelihood of them doing that, especially without even like thoroughly testing it. And he said the only test that you see here is when it crashed. So after it crashed, did they just say, okay, we're gonna go up there now without freaking testing it completely? So yeah, because who gonna sign up for that? You gonna sign up to go to the moon, but basically you're gonna get to the moon and crash. Like you don't know. Like, come on, man. Because if you can't land a thing on the earth where you know how things, excuse me, if you can't land it on the earth where you know how things are, how you gonna land it in a whole different space where you don't know how things work and how things go? So that's what he's saying. Like, bro, you can't even land it on your planet. So if you can't land it on your planet, how you gonna land it somewhere you ain't never been? That's true, man. Cause like, hey, you can take a pilot know how to fly a plane. Yeah, he know how to fly a plane here on the Earth. But if you go drop him off on another planet, it's different. It's different properties, different gravity, different air, different atmosphere, different wind speeds. Yeah, man. Shoot. So yeah, that's just a little bit I had to drop right there. Now, I'm not gonna say that what I've said is enough to prove that the moon landing was fake. But in my opinion, it's enough to make you just kind of scratch your head. All right? I think it's enough to just make you kind of scratch your head and just say, hmm. That's all I'm saying. I ain't, so whether or not you want to believe it, disbelieve it, that's on you. But I know I done said enough to make you just kind of wonder. So I shall live. Let me do one more. Since we got a couple people in here, I'll do a little bit more. So the Apollo have a whole set of arguments to prove the reality of the Apollo missions. The photos and videos, the reflectors, which have been left on the moon and are used by astrophysicians. So they left reflectors on the moon, huh? I ain't heard that before. The lunar rocks have been brought back by the astronauts. If there had been a host, the Russians would have seen it and exposed it, especially in the times of the Cold War. Given the great number of people who participated in the project, somebody would have talked. Among those who have directly participated to the fakings, there would certainly have been some leftist video specialist who would have talked. He said leftist. So they saying somebody would have spilled the beans by now. But whenever anyone does spill the beans, they are criticized tremendously by media and anybody else who got power enough to make them look stupid. So that don't really hold up, man, because just like me, if somebody's it might be somebody see this video, gonna talk about me like a dog, man. You know what I'm saying? So they said, so you can't go off that because whenever people do come out, they get treated like they just a conspiracy idiot. So nobody that don't hold water, as people say. Now, uh, they say they left reflectors on the planet. I gotta look that up because on the moon because I've not heard that before. I've not heard that. I gotta see that. So I'm gonna have to look that. I'm gonna have to look that up. And then for saying people with a talk that took place, uh, that helped with it. There's a lot of stories about people who faced some severe backlash for talking too much. So here we see list of reflectors on the moon. What? So they say retro. Let's see. Well, I got and some poison ivy, poison oak, or one of them, man. Boy, this junk ate so bad. Oh my goodness, man! It don't make no sense how bad this junk is. So they left six. Six were left at 6 sites on the moon by 3 crews of the Apollo program. 2 remote landers of the something program and 1 by the Chandrayaan program. Lunar reflectors have enabled precise measurement of the Earth-Moon distance since 1969 using lunar laser ranging. Several successful attempts to land retroreflectors on the lunar surface have been made, and several future attempts are planned. What? So hold on. So they saying that it ain't necessarily so they said some of them they have landed there on the moon, and some of them the astronauts put on the moon. So 6 were left at 6 sites on the moon by 3 crews. Okay, so all of them. That's kind of 2 remote landers. So they got 6 by the crews, and then 2 remote ones, and 1 by another program. That's the Indian program. Yeah, the Indians trying to get to the moon now for some reason. Yeah, like Indians from India, not like Native American Indians. But okay, it's looking like the Soviets did 2 remote ones. Okay, control robot. All right, so they saying the Soviets did it. The Soviets did it too, but it was a remote. So you got it was able to, NASA put one up, Soviet, NASA, Soviet, IRSO, the Indians. The Indians just did it. So we did this in 69, and the last one was done by the Soviets in 73. And then nobody else did it until 2023 when the Indians just did it. And they all still operational. Something from 1969 dropped on the moon is still operational. And they say one from 1973 was rediscovered in 2010. What? Now they had something that crashed. Am I sharing this page? I'm sorry. Let me share this page with y'all. My bad. So now they had a few that crashed. Man, why are so many people in here now, man? Now, what up, Scary Show? This gonna be why I set up a food on the moon. Man, it's 8 folk, man. Y'all getting ready to get off, man. What y'all doing? What's up, man? Y'all on that late night tip, huh? The freaks come out at night. What freak come out at night? The freak come out at the freaks come out now. The freak come out at night. The freak come out at night. The freak come out at night. Ba-dum bum 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 bum. Ba-dum bum 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 bum. Anyway. So we had a few crash. Oh, now look at this. Who is this? Israel had one. The freak Israel doing that for? Israel had one crashed in 2019. India had one crashed in 2019. A privately owned space company called Moon Express canceled one in 2020. The Astrobiotic, there's aborted controlled re-entry. So I guess they aborted before it completely left the Earth. A Russian company had one that crashed in 23. And another company in America had one that failed in 2 months ago. Ain't that something? So, they call this a reflector. I don't know why they would. So, that means that we can see these things on the moon now? Oh, man, I'm supposed to be getting off. What do you say? It'd be wild. Face blue smiling. I didn't get an alert. Yeah, man, you know how I go with them alerts, man. Well, appreciate you stopping through, man. I've been seeing you, man, trying to do your thing, man. Boy, it's rough out here for us chocolate horror creepy creators, man. It's like, you know, it's rough for us out here. He said Israel Zion has got me on perpetual restriction. What happened, man? You went on Facebook and got the expressing yourself and got in trouble? You must have went on there and got the running your mouth, man. They didn't put you in timeout. JY, what up? They didn't put you on timeout, man. You didn't went on there and said too much, huh? That's how it be. That's how it be. You already know, boy. There's certain stuff that you better not speak on unless you saying what they want you to say. Now, you saying what they want you to say, you can talk all day now. Talk all day. But, that's that text telling me to go ahead and get offline. So, hey, man, I appreciate y'all, bro. I just wanted to come through and just drop a little something, man, you know. Drop a little something. Get what you want from it. If it means something to you, you're welcome. If it don't, then thanks for watching anyway. I don't know why you're here. But hey, Facebook profile status says no restrictions yet. I can't post anything. I get a pop-up saying I'm restricted for X amount of days. When that time is up, the restrictions get renewed over and over and over. I cannot see or even fix whatever it was, cause dang, boy, you might as well go ahead and let that account go, boy. It's over with. But yeah, man, text me, man. I still got the same number. I'm about to go watch the rest of the Lakers get their head bust open by Joker. Hey, man, love y'all. Thank y'all. And I'll catch y'all.